Have you ever said something in anger and regretted it the very next second? Or reacted to someone else's words only to realize later that they didn't deserve your energy at all? What if the true measure of strength isn't in how fast you respond, but in how calmly you don't? The book, The Power of Not Reacting, teaches us that emotional control is the real form of intelligence. When you learn to pause before reacting, you gain a power most people will never understand: the power to choose peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and strength over impulse. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about mastering your emotions so they no longer master you. Before starting our summary, please, if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel to get new book summaries on time. Chapter 1. Reacting means they control you. Imagine someone insults you in public. Your heart races, your jaw tightens, and you feel that burning urge to respond. At that moment, it feels like the only way to protect yourself is to react. But here's the truth: the moment you react, they win. They've pulled the strings, and you've become the puppet. Most of us think reacting quickly shows power. It doesn't. It shows control has been taken from you. Reacting means your emotions are driving the car while your reason is tied up in the back seat. The other person now dictates your peace, your focus, and your energy. Every emotional outburst has a cost. When you react instantly, your mind floods with stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, and your ability to think clearly disappears. You say things you don't mean, you make decisions you later regret, and you carry the burden of those words long after the argument ends. That is why this chapter begins with one simple truth: he who controls your reaction controls you. If someone can make you angry, they own a piece of your peace. So how do we take it back? Through the pause. Justice Malcolm calls it the 5-second rule of power, the ability to pause before reacting. When you pause, you disrupt the emotional cycle. You create a space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your freedom. In those few seconds, breathe, observe your thoughts, let the first wave of emotion pass before you speak. That tiny gap gives you clarity, and clarity is power. Think of emotional control like martial arts. The strongest fighters aren't the ones who throw punches at every provocation. They are the ones who wait, read the opponent, and strike only when it truly matters. Similarly, the person who can stay calm in the storm is always stronger than the one shouting in the rain. There's a saying that fits perfectly here: when you react, you give them control. When you respond, you take it back. The moment you choose not to react, you remind yourself that no one deserves your peace more than you do. But here's the twist: even when you pause, the emotional wave doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it lingers, whispering for revenge, pushing you to act anyway. So how do you stop that wave from turning into regret later? That is what Chapter 2 reveals: why most reactions become regrets and how to replace reaction with conscious response. Chapter 2. Most reactions become regrets. Think back to the last time you yelled at someone or replied in anger. Did it feel good in the moment? Maybe, but did it leave you calm? No. Deep down, most reactions leave a sting, a memory that haunts you, a regret that lingers longer than the insult itself. Why do we keep falling into this trap? Because reacting feels like survival. When we feel hurt, ignored, or disrespected, our instinct screams, "Fight back now." But instinct is rarely the voice of power. It is the echo of pain from past wounds. Every reaction carries a hidden cost. You might think you are expressing honesty or strength, but in reality, you are giving away something far more valuable: your peace. Justice Malcolm explains that emotional reactions are like deposits into a bank of regret. One harsh word, one angry message, one overreaction, and suddenly, oh, a lifetime of guilt and shame. You don't remember the insult you received as vividly as you remember the words you threw back. You don't remember the failure. You remember how you collapsed under it. This chapter shares a powerful truth. Reacting is a habit, not a necessity. We react automatically because we have always reacted. The challenge is to train the mind to respond intentionally instead of reacting blindly. Here's the solution Justice Malcolm gives. Pause, observe, and choose your response consciously. When a painful moment arises, tell yourself, this emotion is real. My reaction is a choice. Breathe, step back, let the initial surge of anger or fear pass. Then decide, does this require my energy, my words, my action? He illustrates this with the story of a woman who reacted in anger to her sister during a family gathering. The words she shouted could not be taken back. The moment destroyed their relationship, and she spent years regretting it. The lesson is clear. Every moment of emotional reactivity can leave scars, and sometimes those scars last a lifetime. The question now becomes, how can we build a mind that doesn't just avoid regret, but actually turns every emotional challenge into an opportunity for strength? Chapter 3 reveals the hidden superpower of silence and why staying quiet can sometimes be stronger than speaking your mind. Chapter 3. Silence is a superpower. Why do some people command respect without ever raising their voice? Why do some individuals seem untouchable in moments of chaos while others crumble under the slightest insult? The secret is deceptively simple. Silence. Most people fear silence. They confuse quiet with weakness. They think if they do not speak, they are afraid, invisible, powerless. But the truth flips that idea on its head. Silence is not weakness, it is control, focus, and power in disguise. Silence gives you something no reaction ever can. Clarity. When you pause, you prevent your emotions from running the show. You stop being a puppet to someone else's provocation. Justice Malcolm explains that quiet people are often the strongest. They do not need to explain themselves to prove a point. They do not need to justify their actions. Their calmness communicates a power that words cannot match. Consider the story of a man publicly attacked online by a former friend. Everyone expected him to retaliate, post, defend, or shout. Instead, he said nothing. People called him weak at first. 6 months later, the truth came out and he was vindicated. His silence spoke louder than any argument ever could. The chapter also explains how to use silence as a tool. In conflict, say I understand and step back. Let insults, drama, and lies flow past without pulling you in. Observe. Let others reveal their own character. Use silence to conserve energy, protect peace, and maintain clarity. Silence is a weapon against impulsive reactions. It allows you to respond with strategy rather than emotion. It transforms every potentially explosive moment into an opportunity to rise above. But silence alone is not enough. If you invest your energy in the wrong things, even the quietest mind can be drained and weakened. Chapter 4 shows exactly how to protect your energy and why not everything in life deserves a reaction. Chapter 4. Not everything deserves your energy. Have you ever noticed how some people seem exhausted at the end of the day, drained not by work, but by endless arguments, misunderstandings, and drama? What if I told you that most of that energy loss is completely avoidable? Not everything deserves your attention, and not every battle is worth fighting. The chapter reveals a truth most people ignore. Giving your emotional energy to every insult, criticism, or conflict is self-destructive. Every time you react to a text, a comment, or a slight, you give away something precious: your focus, your calm, and your power. You are not losing because of what others do. You are losing because you let their actions dictate your inner state. The video explains this with the story of a diligent college student. Someone spread lies about her. Instead of letting it pass, she responded, argued, explained herself online, and cried at night. She lost focus, her dreams slowed down, and she became bitter. The truth: the situation never deserved her energy. By reacting, she sabotaged her own life. The solution the chapter provides is actionable. Protect your energy like it is gold. Key steps: make a mental list every morning. What deserves my energy today? Walk away from anything outside that list. Do not fight small battles or try to convince people who refuse to understand. Only invest in things that contribute to growth, clarity, and peace. It emphasizes that peace comes not from winning every battle, but from knowing which battles are worth your time. By controlling where you invest your energy, you gain clarity, focus, and long-term strength. Yet, energy control alone is not enough. There is another secret layer: how calmness in the face of chaos multiplies your power, influence, and respect. In Chapter 5, you will learn why the one who stays calm always wins, even when everything is falling apart. Chapter 5, The One Who Stays Calm Wins. Imagine being in the middle of chaos, people shouting, the world pushing against you, and yet you remain unshaken. Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to have control, make better decisions, and earn respect even in the toughest situations? The secret is not force, speed, or loudness. It is calmness. This chapter explains that calmness is a superpower. Calm people are trusted, respected, and followed, while most people live like storms, reacting, panicking, and losing control. The calm person becomes the stillness that everyone orbits around. Through an example, the video shares a story of an old man on a crowded train. A drunk, angry man entered, shouting and pushing people. While everyone panicked or shouted back, the old man stayed calm. He looked the aggressor in the eyes and spoke softly, diffusing the situation. The drunk man sat down and cried. The chapter emphasizes that calmness is not natural, it is trained. It requires discipline and practice, like a warrior preparing for battle. Tools to build calmness include breathing deeply and often, controlling your body controls your mind, observation before action, understand situations fully before responding, emotional detachment. Separate your truth from the chaos around you. Practice in small storms. Spilled coffee, traffic, or rude messages are training sessions for bigger life storms. Calmness allows you to respond with strategy, not emotion. It ensures your decisions are wise, your relationships strong, and your influence amplified. But calmness alone does not guarantee freedom from reaction. There is a deeper reason why we react instinctively and why response takes conscious effort. In Chapter 6, you will discover how reaction becomes a habit and response becomes power, and how to reprogram your mind to always choose the latter. Chapter 6, Reaction is habit, response is power. Have you ever noticed how some people explode at the smallest inconvenience while others stay calm no matter what happens? Why do most of us react automatically, almost like machines? And how can we break free from this cycle? This chapter explains that reaction is habit and response is power. Most people react not because they are inherently angry or weak, but because reacting has become automatic. Over time, reactions are reinforced by past experiences, pain, and unhealed wounds. For example, someone ignored as a child may overreact to neglect in adulthood. Someone humiliated in the past may overreact to criticism now. Reaction comes from the old pain we carry, not the present moment. The video shares a story of a young waiter facing a rude, entitled customer. Instead of reacting with anger, the waiter responded calmly, stating his truth with respect. The result: the customer looked small, the waiter earned admiration, and he even got a promotion. This illustrates the power of response over reaction. The key lesson is that response is intentional. It comes from awareness, not instinct. Unlike reactions, responses are conscious choices that preserve peace, respect, and power. The chapter highlights a practical method: pause before responding. Even a single deep breath creates space. Ask yourself, is this about now or an old wound? Respond from truth, not emotion. Let clarity guide your words and actions. By practicing this daily, even in minor incidents like traffic or missed messages. You strengthen your ability to respond intentionally in bigger life challenges. But even when you respond intentionally, there is another invisible force silently sabotaging your peace, your ego. In Chapter 7, you will discover why ego fuels reactions and how letting it go can make you truly untouchable, calm, and free. Chapter 7, Let Go of Ego. Why do we sometimes react even when we know it will harm us? Why do we feel the constant need to prove ourselves, defend our point of view, or show the world our worth? The answer lies in one hidden force controlling your reactions: your ego. This chapter explains that ego is the silent driver behind most of our emotional reactions. Ego is not just pride. It is the voice inside that demands respect, recognition, and validation. When it is triggered, it pushes you to fight, argue, explain, or attack even when it is unnecessary. For instance, a man who gave years of dedication to his company was replaced without notice. His ego screamed to retaliate, expose the company, and prove his worth. Instead, he paused, listened to wise advice, and chose peace over proving a point. By letting go of ego, he quietly built his own successful company, eventually surpassing those who wronged him. The key insight is that ego seeks to control and reacting feeds it. But your soul seeks freedom, and peace is its language. Every time ego dominates, it forces you into reactive behavior, fighting battles that do not matter, carrying drama, and losing inner calm. The practical solution offered is: pause at the first urge to react. Ask yourself, is this my soul speaking or my ego screaming? Let people misunderstand you. Your truth does not require external validation. Prioritize peace over being right. Choose calmness over proving your point. When you practice letting go of ego, your energy is freed, your mind becomes calm, and your life becomes intentional instead of reactive. Final thoughts: the power of not reacting is a blueprint for mastering your mind, emotions, and life. Every reaction you make is a choice. Every pause you take builds control, awareness, and strength. By practicing silence, calmness, selective energy, intentional responses, and ego-free living, you step into a life of peace, respect, and true power. This book teaches you that strength is not loud, it is steady. It is not in the fight, it is in the mastery of self. Your peace is your greatest weapon, and the less you react, the more unshakable and powerful you become. Remember, every time the world tries to pull you into chaos, pause, breathe, and respond with awareness. You don't need to react. You don't need to prove. You don't need to fight. You are calm. You are steady. You are free, and that freedom is your true power. If this book summary teaches you something special, then please like it and subscribe to my channel to get more amazing book summaries and never miss any book summary.